This is your Jody's Corner Daily News for Monday, June 27th, the day before my birthday. Let's go.
What's up? This is Method Man right here. Yes, I have a mask on because I care. Welcome to Jody's Corner.
YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. Thank you guys so very much for being here. We've got the daily news for you, but before we begin, I ask you if you guys like the content, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into the news. B2K drama is at its height right now. 2019 had a not Up in Smoke tour, but a Millennium tour where B2K was supposed to have they're supposed to reunite and have a tour across the country of their reunite tour. And that didn't happen. And fast forward 2-3 years later, I don't think it's ever going to happen because J-Boog, Lil Fizz, Omarion, Raz B, they're all in a feud. And the problem with this feud is that on the heels of the versus battle that just went down between Mario and Omarion is what sparked it. Raz B, J-Boog, and Lil Fizz are kind of all in agreements against Omarion. So Omarion's out there doing his thing, on his little icebox on his shit. And after that thing was over, because first of all, let me talk about that real quick. That versus battle was straight atrocious. Hey, bro, Ray J, you can't sing. Bobby Valentino, you be sucking on she-males. You can't sing. Omarion did decent, but Mario, he stunted on all of y'all. All y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Mario came in there and I can hear your heart calling out for me. And it's saying, all the lady was like, save me. He had the crowd in the audience. He had everybody in his corner. There was only one singer on that stage, and his name was Mario. Second, I got to go back to Ray J again. Bro, you can't sing, man. You needed some auto-tune. Somebody get him an auto-tune pipe quick. Pronto, ASAP. Your child heard that. You were holding your baby singing like that. Oh, no. I'll let y'all check that out. Check that out later. But back to the reason why, where did all this begin? Because some of the stuff that we're going to get into with the news about B2K, this is like scorched earth. I don't think they ever going to get back together after this. But let's talk about the start of it all. And I remember there was some drama between Omarion and Lil Fizz first. Omarion had a baby mama who he broke up with in 2016, and Lil Fizz knocked her up. He knocked up Omarion's baby mama. That's what started it all. And I found this video here. Let's take a listen.
Omarion just can't catch a break. Now, first, his B2K homie Lil Fizz began a relationship with the mother of his kids, April Jones, and now the word is that another B2K band member, J-Boog, is accused of smashing his mom's.
Wait, excuse me, what?
It's a maternal smash.
J-Boog is accused of smashing Fizz's mom?
That is very
Omarion's mom.
J-Boog?
Hey, Omarion, I'll smash your mama too, bro. There's just something about her.
Yeah.
When this happened? Now, come on now.
It's hard to say. So reportedly doing a live taping for the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood reunion show.
Ooh.
Things got a little crazy on stage between Lil Fizz and his child's mother, and J-Boog was apparently trying to break up the fight. So somehow they end up getting exposed for sleeping with Omarion's mom.
Oh, wow.
Now, these little boys.
No, but
they're adults
they
now.
grown now.
They paying taxes and
Yeah, they grown now.
But
Not a good look. J-Boog smashing Omarion's mama. Lil Fizz smashing Omarion's baby mama. Oh, man, both the mamas got hit by his Hemis. So basically what happened there was that, the whole entire tour was taken off. Like Omarion, he announced that he's going to do a new Millennium tour without B2K. He brought in Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow did his thing. He also brought other people like Pretty Ricky, Lloyd, the Yin Yang Twins, and Soulja Boy in order to alleviate what was going to be missing from not having his homies for the B2K reunion back in 2020. So fast forward now to 2022, they just recently had that versus battle, and people are clowning him. People were kind of giving Omarion heat for not hitting those vocal ranges, and Mario brought out the fake B2K. They were dance it. It was funny. Y'all need to watch it. He brought out a fake B2K. He said, you didn't want to invite your homie, so I did. But they were all knockoffs, but they could dance though. But and it prompted the start of something really, really shocking, because J Bug and Lil Fizz were kind of ridiculing, hitting them with jokes. And Omarion called all three of them, y'all my backup dancers. Oh, my backup dancers out here talking trash, huh? And that is what started everything. That's what made Scorched Earth happen, and that's where these receipts come into play. J Bug went all the way, not part of the way. He went balls deep into this situation, y'all. My God. As reported, the latter brought out impersonators to mock the band. The move not only generated laughs, but it brought from B2K and Raz B out of the woodworks to say what they said. Omarion did not see the humor, and he launched a tirade against his former comrades, branding them his three backup dancers who always sought his downfall. Now J Boog is weighed in, and we have a lot to read here. So I'll go ahead, and these are just the highlighted moments, which I'll talk about. He says, I'll just leave this here. The lies and the BS stops here. No post will be made after this. Just a little truth for those who want to know the real Omarion. This thing we call B2K was never the Omarion show. It was more like a circus, and each guy brought a special attraction, and collectively it was fun to watch. Watching you only lets me know that you were not really paying attention to what was making you Omarion, because without us around, it's clear you can't tap back into him. You look lost, almost like you're looking for us to feed off of. You are a fame hog and got the best of you. Fame is a heck of a drug. I know when we were together as a group, you wanted to be the most famous, aka the most favorite, but that wasn't the case. Fizz and Boog were the favorites. You couldn't understand that because you sung all the leads by old school group design. But the guy who only talked on the track and in the interviews, which was me, and the other guy who rapped our singles, which was Fizz, were getting more love than you. He also said that Chris Brown took your career and Little Brown took your tour. He went on to say, if I was a backup dancer, you were a dancer with a record deal. Neither of us was singing, fool, LMAO. Welcome to the jungle, nigga. Hope you survive the night. Holy shoot. And then he goes, and then, see, the details are really heavy in here. He says, that's not my fault, but I never was mad that I could sing on your level, but never got a chance. J Boog said, I could sing on your level. I never got the shot, homie. I was pushed to the side. He says, I was just a young boy from Compton who was happy to be a part of the group out of my situation. I was always more of a talent than how I was used, but yet I'm still grateful. I was a part of a machine. You give off the impression as if you've done me a favor. Shall I take you back to when because of your vocal, we visited every record label in the business and was turned down twice? Nigga, you was singing in the background for a minute when Max Gross brought it, were getting dropped. Now let's think about those odds per the history of our other meetings. This thing we call B2K was never the Omarion show. It was more like a circus, and each guy brought his own special attraction. Without us, it's clear you can't tap back into him. You look lost trying to feed off of us. Looking like you're looking for us to feed off of. To be a part of a brand that's bigger than you, to be a hard brand that's bigger than you is hard for you to accept. But one who tears down his own work is a poisoned individual. To call me a background dancer is funny. Shall we discuss the truth by how those records were really made? I was there, and you were not in the booth for a lot of the vocals that were put on those songs. From your lead vocal not being fully you, listen to that first album. You'll hear Steve Russell in and out of those leads and the hooks in the first album till I took over on the second album. Me landing a lead in our second single, F With You, because your first #1 single, Bump, 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 our first #1 single, I sang the hook on it, and it brought attention to the label. That group was able to evolve, and Troy Taylor made the call and put me on the verse, Girlfriend. After I had already sung that hook earlier that day, it was written all over your face because me and Fizz talked about it that day at the session. I was already more loved in the group and by the fans now. I had a lead. You knew it was a wrap for you. It didn't help that Fizz was most popular, and the label had already gave him a solo deal before you ever had a conversation with them about one. This is basically him saying, we had a vocalist come in to do your vocals on the first album. What was bruh's name? He said, what's this dude's name? Steve Russell. I'm about to go listen to that album again. He said, we had Steve Russell on the hook and some of your vocals on that first joint. I mean, now Omarion could sing, but he's not that type of singer. He's not a, you know what I'm saying? He ain't a Tyrese Genuine Tank type of motherfucker. So he's just like a pop dancer singer. You know what I'm saying? Hold a tune for a little while and keep it pushing. But to know that somebody else came in, was doing the vocals for you, man, they exposing some really dark secrets here, man. Studio secrets that the world, in my opinion, shouldn't know, but now the world know. The money wasn't worth it. Come on, Boogie, just do it. Let's do it for our kids. Let's get this money. Yeah, nigga, that was you, LOL. As soon as the fire was backlit, you threw us off the ship, took off with the boat again. Funny thing is, every time you took off with the boat, you got jacked for it. Chris Brown took your career and Bow Wow just took your tour. Shake my freaking head. That's what happens when you try to use people as a launch pad. It's levels to this shit. Oh, and I'm here to break it down for you. So all the shit that happened to you probably makes sense in the world now why it happened. You throw stones and hide your hands. Nigga, I saw your wax show in the Millennium Tour 2, kicking down chairs. You didn't go through that night. You didn't do that night. We was on stage with you in LA though. LOL, your little slick comment on TMZ, your sneak post on the Shade Room. I am B2K, and the verses claiming them all as your B2K, claiming them is all your vocals on the B2K records. You lame for all this shit, fam. Don't run from your legacy. What we did in such a short time is still a major topic. B2K will forever be your origin, and from the looks of it, the peak of your career. Omarion is a brand, I'll give you that, but it's not bigger than B2K. Facts. Which is your brand as well. So stop the de-edification and at least let it have a life left for you to come crawling back to. You and I know what the people want from the world to feedback in all the meetings. You're getting turned down in right now. The industry is watching you along with the world, and we all thinking the same thing. What the freak is he thinking? I was a backup dancer. You were a dancer with a record deal. Neither of us was singing fool. Welcome to the jungle, nigga. Hope you survived the night. Golly, that smoke. All right, but that's like, so I need to tell you guys how big B2K was. B2K came out fast, 2001, 2002, and exploded. It was like, who's this black group that could dance? Girlfriend, girlfriend. That song was fire. Baby, turn around. Let me see that sexy body go bum, bum, bum. Fire. I think Bump 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 that had P. Diddy on the track was hit #1 on the pop charts, which was big. And B2K, I remember this was at the height of my high school attendance. Me, the league, we was in high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. We went to go see You Got Served in the movie theater. That thing was sold out. I mean, the hallways was packed with just little black kids. It was tight. They sold a gang of records. They had a gang of tours. Females were storming the stage. There was no wave like B2K. You could bring up IMX. You could bring up Boys to Men. You could bring up any other black 90s group you want. None of them hit like B2K did. It was just totally different. And they had a great short run. It was only like a 3-year run, but it was fantastic, man. If they kept going, they would have been the greatest black group of all time. Probably the greatest male group of all time. Nah, you have to with Beatles and shit. Greatest black group of all time. But a motherfucking death blow came out. J Boog. No, it was Lil Fizz. Lil Fizz came out and said, oh, you're B2K? Pfft, nigga, you ain't even B2K no more. He came out and said, you ain't even B2K. And he shared the email, the correspondence letter from his law office, his lawyer's letter where they outed you from the group. At your request, I've researched the issues surrounding the departure of Omarion from the group. They used Robbie v. Reed 153 in 1999, where this person left the group, and the person who left the group cannot take the group with the group's rights with them. There's precedence there. Mr. Granberry is clearly a leaving member by virtue of the fact that he consistently declines to entertain any discussions with any members of the group about his manager, Michelle LaFleur. And even when they said that Omarion is leaving, Michelle LaFleur believes 25%, which is one of the 4, belongs to Omarion's estate. And then they used another precedence. HEC enters versus Deep Purple. It says that defendant deriving rights from a leaving member of the rock band Deep Purple could not form a band using that name, as the name was the property of the group that continued to utilize the service mark. And they used more precedents. Leaving member of the band The Kingsmen could not later adopt the name for his own solo recordings, as once he left the group, he no longer had any rights to the service mark. Consequently, it is clear that Mr. Granberry, who's Omarion, no longer has any rights to the service mark B2K for touring, and the ongoing group comprised of the 3 founding members holds exclusive rights to tour under the name B2K. If this holds up, which it looks like it is, it will, Omarion is out of B2K, and now B2K can have their own tour, add a 4th member if they want to, or just do it with the 3 of them. That's incredible. And this is legal document here saying that you out. You've been out as of 2019, Hammy. So Omarion's not even in B2K, and the thoughts of there being a reunion are slim to none right now, bro. It's sad to see people that I grew up with, slamming each other and shit, man. It is what it is, but groups break up. I have personal experience with that. And their business came out where they were saying, people were just hating from the jump. People were big-headed. Some people had ulterior motives, and now it's all coming out. Groups can't stay together for long. So long as there's hate and vitriol or jealousy in the group, it'll show its head eventually. So I'm very well experienced with that, and I understand exactly why the group is breaking up. It's just tough, though. Ladies and gentlemen, on to some other news. The Roe v. Wade situation, right? It's a very hot topic. It's federally illegal to abort a child. It is a crime now, but there's about 10 to 15 states that are making it illegal because the federal law says, listen, your state law can do what you want. If the states adopt it to be legal or not, that's up to the state. And about 10 to 15 states have adopted that and said that it is illegal to have an abortion. There's protests all over this country about pro-life and about pro-choice. There's pro-life people who are clashing with pro-choice people, and some of them are getting sent to the hospital. They're getting violent, breaking out knives and bottles and guns and fighting and arguing all over this situation that has to do with legal rights. Now, for me, I'm not going to really talk too much about how I feel about that because I don't want that out there. I don't really talk about the politics, but I will say a lot of other people have things to say, like this chick right here, Janelle Monáe, you trash can whack motherfreaker. Your movies suck. You can't act. You can't sing. You're talentless. You're weak. She says, F you, Supreme Court. She went and took to the BET Awards to make sure that she let her voice be known. F you, Supreme Court. And I'm like, Janelle Monáe, ain't you a lesbian? Yeah, that's your girl. Y'all had a fling, and I saw you with another chick, and then another chick. Bitch, you ain't even finna have kids. You ain't even got a dog in this fight. That's what I don't like. People coming out here talking trash to make a headline. To make a headline, you ain't even finna have no kids. There are no kids in your future. As someone who's in the LGBT community as a bona fide lesbian, I think she identifies as pansexual, which is even freaking weird. Like you could marry a tree, or you don't look at age, sex, species. Shit is weird. Freak out of here, Janelle Monáe. You're one of the people that need to keep their mouth shut because you don't have a dog in this fight. The Roe v. Wade is for people who actually want to have sex and have babies. Not nothing from a test tube either. Y'all can miss me with that. Before y'all go in the comment section, talk about test tubes and formulas and incubation periods and sucking eggs and embryos and splicing DNA, you can miss me with that. That's for the birds. In other news, Russell Westbrook has finally fired back at Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, who is a Fox Sports News commentator who coined the phrase Russell Westbrick against Russell Westbrook. Skip Bayless says Russell Westbrook because he has terrible shooting numbers. Russell Westbrook can't shoot. And one day in 2012, Skip Bayless called him Russell Westbrick, and it stuck. To the point where last year Russell Westbrook said he's going to take his name more seriously. His name means something to him. And just recently, my man Skip Bayless has something to say. Skip Bayless says the Lakers acquire second-round pick take Michigan State's Max Christie, who shot only 32% from three last season. Perfect. He'll fit right in with LeBron and Westbrook. Whoa. Westbrook responded, yo, watch your mouth. Don't say nothing here you wouldn't say to my face. And I know who Skip Bayless is. I watch them daily. I watch Undisputed. I don't watch them daily, but I watch clips. And yeah, Skip Bayless ain't afraid to see nobody face to face. He'll tell you right in your eyeballs, Russell Westbrook. He stood right across from Terrell Owens and told him about himself. He stood right across from Chad Ochocinco, told him about himself. He stood across from another NBA player who started this my last name, don't mess with my last name controversy in Chris Bosh, because Chris Bosh was playing like a pussy and he called him Bosh Spice. And Bosh came on the show and said, I don't like when you use my name like that. And I think Skip said, all right, I could do that for you, but your numbers, and that's why I called you Bosh Spice. He told him right to his face. And he'll tell you right to your face, Westbrook, you don't want no parts of Skip Bayless. You'll go on that show and get ate up, bro. You don't want no smoke. But here's another part. Here's what gets me. His wife came out and came at Skip Bayless. Nina Westbrook. You got to stop calling people out of their name. You are very disrespectful and a bully. This is why so many very young people say it's okay to exhibit this type of behavior. Social media has become such heinous place because of people like you. My name is Westbrook. She also says, I'm tired of you, Skip Bayless, calling my husband out of his name. It is extremely childish. That is my name as well, and many other people's name. You're disrespectful, and I'm extremely offended by your behavior. You should apologize. Now, listen, this is when shit gets bad. You bringing yourself into the situation. Westbrook, you letting your wife come and get up into this man beef with you, bro? This is a professional beef about you. This is between two men, and here comes this woman out here making it public. Russell, get your house in order, bruh. Russell, get your house in order, bruh. Russell, get your house in order, bruh. You know what? That might be a tough thing to do, though, because I know I'm not mistaken, but yep, that's him. Yeah, he wearing a dress. Yeah. Oh, that's him too. Holy shit. Oh, that's him too. Wearing a whole kilt. He ain't white. You ain't Scottish. What you think this is? This ain't Scotland, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Well, we can't look at Westbrook to be anything manly, so it makes a whole lot of sense why your wife would come out with the balls and speak for you. And speak quite candidly, if I don't say so myself, bruh, get your house in order, homie. Your shit is in disarray. You worried about wearing dresses and bras and shit. You need to be focused on your children, bro. I'm gonna guarantee you this, homie. You wearing dresses and panties and shit and blouses is much more disrespect to the Westbrook name than anything Skip Bayless could say regarding your performance like Westbrook. Let me just tell you that. You run around here in these dresses as a black man with a wife and kids. One day your kids are going to grow up and look at you in a dress. They're going to see daddy in a dress and a blouse. And they be like, what the heck is that? You emasculate yourself. You besmirch yourself and your family and your name. I bet your father saw you, if your father is there or alive, sees that. The disrespect on his face, the look of sadness on his face is something that I wouldn't want to see. You talk about respecting last names and you run around with kilts and blouses. Shut up, Russ. Shut the heck up. And your wife coming out talking for you on your behalf. Man up, dog. Man up. But still, Skip Bayless responded to all of that. He didn't even respond to the woman because Skip Bayless is a real man. I ain't gonna lie. Skip Bayless is more man than you, Russ. He's built of the old school stuff, bro. He ain't on that millennial Generation Z bullshit beta male shit you on. Skip Bayless come from the old school, bro. The old ways. And Skip Bayless didn't even respond to your wife because that's not what a man is supposed to do. He ignored your wife and he went right here with you. Hey, Russ, I'll be happy to talk to you face to face about the nickname that I believe I originated in 2012. Join me on my TV/podcast. Let's talk about how you'll make $47 million next year after being the worst three-point shooter in the NBA. Most overpaid player ever? Please join me. You would be doing Skip a favor by coming on his show so he can verbally shellac you. And Shannon gonna be there sitting there like, come on, Skip. Well, I can't lie with the numbers, Russ. You understand, bro. At the end of the day, bro, you're out of here. I wish we could get rid of you and trade you away, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. We're gonna have to run it back with you, and that's gonna be tough. That's your Judge's Corner Daily News for today. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel for that real content. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing. Deuces.